ever experienced this, but I'm sure there is this sense among medical students that those people are getting free education. You know? So the rationale years ago when NIH first started this program, which is probably now almost 40 years old, is that the income potential for the income that an MD PhD person is a trained person is going to make coming, you know, working say at the UIHC or something like that, is significantly lower than the income a person in the private sector is going to make. Would you say that?
Oh,
Mr.? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So NIH decided then to support people to keep them in this career path. Otherwise, they wouldn't go into the career path because the debt load would be so great, and then you come out with an income. Your career is going to end up with an income that's not as conducive to being able to pay that debt off. And so, it's still NIH is still funding these programs, and while they aren't getting huge, there's always a few more programs that are funded each year. The stipend creeps up that NIH pays. We pay a slightly higher stipend than NIH does. So it is a great deal, but you pay for it. I mean, with your time, it's a long time to do this training, and in terms of income potential, you pay for it. Now, you could argue, well, I could do MSTP, and then I could just bag it all and then become a cardiologist over at Mercy, which you could do, and that would be NIH's loss, because they would have the dollars that went into training a person like that would be lost to what they were supposed to train the person for. But that happened. So, but there used to be a payback, meaning if you didn't stay in this career path, you had to pay back a percentage of the funding that you were given, and that's not true anymore. The payback mechanism was so administratively expensive that it wasn't paying for itself.
I did have to do that for my fellowship. So,
You did?
Yeah.
There's a payback that,
so
yeah.
I had a 2-year postdoctoral fellowship, and the way that worked was you did the second year of it to pay back the first year.
Ah.
So by completing 2 years, I didn't have to pay anything back. Although what happened to me, just a little anecdote, I got this translational science grant during the last half of my postdoctoral fellowship, and so I went off of the NIH training grant I was on for that, and then they actually sent me a notice a month ago because they didn't, yeah, they thought I still owed them 6 months of time, but I just had to fill out a form saying that I was, you know, so I had the same position. I was still a fellow. And I was making the same salary. It's just that it was being paid for by a different grant than the one I had before. They're still doing some of that.
I know at the postdoc level they do.
Yeah.
Some institutions have tried to put a payback in. There are some institutions that say, geez, we cannot afford to have people trainees using these dollars and then not fulfilling, you know, sort of their end of the deal. But very few programs do that. So it's always enticing for those of us who, when we have those sort of blips and we have a student who's had 2 years of free education, medical school education, and then just as he or she's going into the lab, decides, no, I don't really want to do that, I'll just stay in medical school. You always say, dang, you know, wish we had some means, but people change their minds.
And certainly as far as regards to the income, and for myself, I'd rather be doing what I'm doing right now than to have a job that makes more, more money. It's not that much, it's more, but I certainly feel like I'm being paid well enough for what I'm doing.
I think that's a very common, we sound sort of like a sales pitch for MSTP, but physician scientists rarely say they don't like what they're doing. And as a matter of fact, I have never heard anybody say, I can't believe I get paid to do this. Because of this flexibility, you can move your career into more clinical, more science. You end up getting time that's protected for you to do what you like. Phases of your career can take different, you can be more clinical at some phase and then go into a more research phase. And it's a very attractive thing to have so much flexibility and opportunity in your life. A pure clinician is not going to have that, really. You're going to have a clinical service if you're on a type of patient you see, and that's, thankfully, people like to do that and like take care of the same patients.
I do too. I like being a clinician. I get a lot of satisfaction out of doing that and training people to be clinicians, but I like doing the research part as well too. And another perk as well is you get to meet a lot of people from around the world and interact with a lot of brilliant people, and also travel as well to quite a bit of travel. Next month I'm going to Washington D.C. for a meeting. Actually, so the Association of Clinical and Translational Science Training Prize. There's a couple of organizations that merged for this, and so they have their annual meeting in Washington D.C. and Francis Collins, the head of NIH, is going to be there. The keynote address.
Human genome thing.
So get to see
Plays
him
guitar.
talk.
By the way.
And then at the end of the month, I'm going to San Francisco for a few days for a meeting for our Huntington's project. So people from all over the world that are working on that project. This is going to be over 100 people that are going to be at this project, this Huntington's project. There's over 30 sites from around the world that are that have.
And is headquartered here? Is it?
Yeah.
So, is that Jane Paulson?
Yeah. So Jane Paulson in our department, she's the principal investigator for the project.
Anybody been over in that realm on this campus and that? It's great.
And it's certainly it's very different from doing pure basic science. Working with we have a lot of clinical data that we're working with. Also, we have a group that is so every individual in the study gets.
It's clinical stuff.
Oh yeah, and every individual in the study gets MRI brain scan. We're doing studies with brain imaging and looking at changes in the brain following that prior to the onset of illness, and see what changes occur in the brain, and looking at associations with symptoms and changes in cognitive function as well too. So a lot of different opportunities with.
How are those patients identified? Are they identified because they have a relative?
So we have a clinic here. It's a lot of people.
But you're saying this is before?
Yeah, so they have family members, of course, who have the illness.
I see, and that's how they get into your study, because they know they have a family member.
Right. And so Huntington's is a dominantly inherited illness, so people know have relatives that have been affected by it. And it's a very active community. I went to another meeting for Huntington's disease in Baltimore back in November, and they actually had the last day of the meeting was actually a session with families and patients with the researchers, which was not always something to see with medical research. A very moving talk by a wife of someone who was affected by Huntington's, and they started a foundation, and it's funding a lot of things in there. They're in California, where they're from, and really, definitely things like that really motivate you to want to keep working hard to learn more, and to work on really want to try to develop some treatments.
I've heard from a number of faculty that one thing, again, you can do as a physician scientist is or they say they're so frustrated when they're seeing, when they're taking care of patients who are, that currently we don't know how to fix, you know. And those, they are so happy that they are able to move into the lab and start and think about it